Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Wow! Woo!
You didn't do it.
I didn't do it today. I didn't do it today. I did not.
Straight up, just no fun. I see how it is.
Okay. Wow. I'll play along.
Nice.
Welcome in, one and all, to Banger Management, the Fantasy Hockey Podcast, with your favorite hosts, Jake, Josh, and Kevin. How's everyone doing this top of the morning?
I've never been better. I am fantastic. I am always happy.
Oh my god, that's hard to beat.
Was that same sentiment echoed yesterday when Josh was talking about your matchup?
It's echoed then, it's echoed now, always just glass half full, you know?
Nice.
It's because he knows he's going to beat me.
Yes. Josh, you're ridiculous. Please
Okay,
stop.
a little ridiculous. Yeah, no, I'm
ridiculous.
good. It might look like I'm recording from, as Kevin put so nicely, a horror movie in a cabin in the woods.
Yes.
But I'm actually in my new house. I just moved in a few days ago, and this is
Come visit me in the woods.
This is my home office. I have not had time to set up anything, not even some decent lighting. So that's why it looks like this right now. But we'll figure that out over the coming weeks. Hopefully I can have some nice stuff in the background.
Speaking of
But
cabin
for
in the
now,
woods,
you know, yeah.
favorite horror movie?
I'm
But Josh,
so
you
not
don't
a
watch
horror
horror
movie
movies
person.
either.
No, I don't get why I would want to be scared when I could just laugh instead. So I only watch comedies.
It's
That's a very fair way of looking at it. Do you have one movie that you've seen that you think is the scariest movie that you've seen, though?
Okay, back in the day, it was Harry Potter 3.
Okay. All right.
But I got over it.
What was so scary about it? Was it the werewolves?
Well, the whole
Spoiler alert.
kind of like ambiance, like the
Like, get
wolves,
away,
like, it's
Ernie.
dark,
You're like,
yeah,
whoa.
exactly. It was definitely a lot scarier than the first two movies, okay? And
It
like it was a
was.
new director, he took like a new direction with it, like super like artsy and sick, but like it was a little scary. But no, I mean Eva did force me to watch it, and that was pretty scary. But the good
Oh,
thing
it
about
was
horror movies
sick.
is I could just block my eyes anytime it gets too scary, and then I'm fine. So
Yeah, you, like,
maybe
cuddle in
Miracle on
her
Ice, the
and-
non-Disney version, that was scary.
The Disney version, though.
Yeah, the moment I realized that I watched the wrong one, that was probably a top 10 terrifying moment. But
I think about that twice a month, at least. I
Weekly.
like I could not believe when we had that realization.
You have to watch
But-
it because you'll see even more. You'll be like, wow, Josh was dedicated to watching this because
right.
Like this $$.
Yeah. I feel like two things have to be believed. No, just one.
honestly, like I would love to know if anyone of our like listeners has watched the original Miracle on Ice and what their thoughts were.
Actually, when we had this initial conversation, one of our listeners commented that there's Of Miracles and Men, which is about like the Russian side of
Yeah.
it, which I still haven't gotten around to watching, but it sounds super interesting.
Very
Maybe
better
when,
than what
uh,
I watched.
When Panarin gets traded, we can all do a watch party and celebrate the Russian getting traded or something.
Okay, no, if we're doing one movie, it's the Disney version, and then we can watch whatever you want after. All right.
But wait, Jake, what's your favorite horror movie?
I also don't love horror as a as a genre. I don't know. Well, do you have one that comes to mind? Like I know probably the scariest movie was The Ring.
Oh my god, yeah. I haven't
thought
seen
the-
it, but
I thought
I
the
know
one with
that's like the
Johnny
one with like the
Galecki.
crawling.
No, that movie is terrifying. And then
What did I
Scary
watch that
Movie
was
3 is
scary
like
recently?
also kind of scary, and it's based on The Ring.
Those
Fair.
are so good.
So it's like that's when you know like a movie that's like a total parody that's like actually okay, like this is a little scary. Like that's how you know the
Yeah.
original is like terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Kevin?
I'm trying to think of something I watched recently. Like Weapons was really. I don't know if you guys saw Weapons.
I've
when it
seen
came out.
I was gonna say that I've seen a lot of like trailers without my consent, but I'm watching TV and then a horror movie trailer comes on, and I get really scared at the trailers. So I'm always like, I'm not watching that. But yeah, I saw the trailers for Weapons. Looks super scary.
Yeah, Weapons. It wasn't super scary, but it's like a little off-putting. Like it's
Yeah,
one of
it's
those.
creepy.
But I love it as
Also-
well. That was a good call.
That was, yeah. Also, like, I don't know if this is a thing for everyone, but ever since I had a baby, any movie where a baby's like in danger or like whatever, I'm just like, I cannot watch this. You know, like I
That's
don't
me
know if
with
this is a thing
dogs.
or not. Yeah, I'm just like, no, I'm not. This is not enjoyable for me. I don't want to imagine, you know, like anything like that. So I'm just turning it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Okay. Let's begin with our week 16 waivers. Before we dive in, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Subscribe on YouTube and give this video a like. All the socials are in the podcast description. And this is the last day for our giveaway. Kevin, tell them about it, and then we will dive into our waivers.
Yes, we have the amazing opportunity to give away 15 copies of the Dauber Hockey 2026 mid-season guide. If you've been playing fantasy hockey for a while, you absolutely already know about Dauber. Fantastic resource with everything they do. If you're new to fantasy hockey, he's a institution in fantasy hockey, a pillar of the community. So this is one resource that I think can go a really long way for you. Listen, if you don't end up winning the raffle, the guide is still on sale right now, and you can go check it out on their website. But the raffle will be ending literally later today as you hear this episode. So hopefully you're listening to this the same day it comes out.
Act now.
Yeah, act now. Sunday, let's say we said 7 p.m. earlier. We'll cut it off at 10 p.m. Eastern. Why not?
Sunday,
You know,
Sunday.
give the people what they
Sorry.
want. Exactly. Sunday. But to enter the giveaway, all you need to do is be subscribed to our YouTube channel, join our Discord, and then once you're in the Discord, there's this channel that says Giveaway Dauber. You go in there, you just got to write Dauber, Dobber, and you're entered. And then Sunday, 10 p.m., we will run the raffle and give notice to all the winners after, and super fun.
Yeah, it's super hype. I mean, I know that Kevin and I both have Excel models for our matchups, and Kevin's better than me. He manually puts in stuff so that he gets the more updated numbers, but I just use season averages, and I import all my data from Dauber, and then I'm able to just paste it into my Excel. So they have great resources if you want to tinker around with Excel stuff as well.
Yeah, they're honestly amazing. So shout out to them, and hopefully, if you're listening to this, you win one. You win a copy.
Yeah, we want all our fans to be winners.
Except, wait, I was gonna say except you guys, because I'm competing against you guys.
That's
I would
true.
be
I am a
happy if you guys
fan,
are
so.
winners. Yeah. We're all fans of each other, you know?
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Except when we're playing each other.
I'm still a fan of you guys.
No, you have not been a fan of me this week. That's for sure.
Because you complain from a position of power, and it's just ridiculous. Josh was like,
Anyways.
like 11. You can believe
That's
that.
That's two already.
He's getting
That's just
heated.
one.
He's not.
That's just one.
I think
What are you
you did something bleep.
I said $8,
/mute
$5
worthy.
sign.
No, but I think you
Yeah,
you
like right before that. Anyways,
profatured-
yeah.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
what I said.
All that to say, Kevin's not been a fan of me this week, as you can see
Yeah.
by the fact he dropped
Yeah,
the
glass
F-bomb.
half
You've
full,
been a
Kevin.
fan of yourself.
Glass half full.
you
Kevin
know-
is dishing out profanity on a level that I've never seen before.
I'm so happy, guys.
Never been better. I think that's got to be like the biggest cry for help. I'm so good, guys. Don't even worry about it.
Nobody check in on me. Everything's great.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into this 2-week update.
Yeah, let's get into it. Okay,
By
no,
2-week
this is
update, I
the
mean,
week 15.
Yeah, week
1 week
15
update.
review.
Yeah, you're mixing up with our bullish episode, which is coming up. But yeah, let's go on over our week 15 choices for last week. So first we had Jared McCann of the Seattle Kraken. 4 games played, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. Huge W. Actually, he cracked the 40% list, so he will no longer be on our show unless he dips below it again due to an injury or something, knock on wood. But yeah, no, huge win there, and I don't think we were surprised about that one. Then we had Patty Kane, 4 games played, 0 goals, 2 assists, 2 points. Look, it's a multi-point week, but pretty much zeros other than that, so we're going to hold ourselves accountable, put an L. And honestly, this one was on me. I shouldn't have put him in the top 3. I was kind of biased because I have him on my team, and I was just hoping that he would get power play 1 back from JVR, but it looks like, look, I don't think this is going to be a long-term thing. If you have Patty Kane in a deep league, you're not dropping him. But for the time being, JVR, James Van Riemsdyk, is the guy on power play 1, so I'm not looking to pick up Kane. So that was my bad on the recommendation. Still got you 2 points, though, but could have been a lot better. And then we had Ryan O'Reilly. Look, 4 games played, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points. Massive W. He finally cracked 40%. I think this is 5 or 6 weeks in a row where he was our number 1 off choice. Every week he was a win. it's crazy it took this long, but we pumped him past 40, so we no longer have to mention him on the episode. So it sucks we're missing out on our free win, but it's good that we can get some variety in there. So on the season, that brings us to 27-12. Guys, we're killing it. I mean, we could have honestly given ourselves the W on Patty Kane. I think I'm glad we're holding ourselves more accountable because it gives more weight to our record. But yeah, this is a sick record. We're doing really great. Not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but let's get into go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have Patty Kane in one of my leagues, and like it started off hot, like the 2 points, but then after that he's kind of not been good at all. So I felt like it was not disingenuous, but like was I happy with him on my team? No, even with the 2 points. Because even with the 2 points, he had like no category coverage. It's honestly crazy how like one singular deployment change can like completely change a person's value. Because he's still in the top 6 5v5 and playing a lot of minutes, but if like he's not on the power play 1, then he's useless. It feels like.
It does feel like that.
And also one last thing on McCann, like just it's a bit more of a longer trend than even just a week. Over the last 10 games, he's only not scored a point in 1.
Yeah,
he's been on
that's
fire.
like really good stuff.
I mean, also this whole Seattle team. I mean, you'll see when we get into our top 10 for this week. But this whole Seattle team has been just absolutely on fire lately. So, and this is their final 4-game week of a streak of 3 4-game weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you may see some of them pop up on our list coming up. But let's get into our Week 16 waivers. So 2-game teams this week are LA and the Utah. There's a bunch of 4-game teams, so I'm not going to go through all of them. There's only one busy night, and that's Monday, which is kind of crazy. Normally it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but it seems very spread out this week, and Monday is the busy one. 2 off-night teams, everyone, because there's no busy nights other than Monday, so you don't have to worry about the off-nights this week, pretty much. So let's get into our top 10 points, guys. Yep.
Sorry, once again. Whatever you do. There you go. With the 2-game teams, I feel we always got to ask the question, like, who are we dropping on this 2 week?
I can tell you who I'm not dropping from LA, and that is Brant Clark. We talked about him 2 weeks ago in the waiver episode, and usually what we do, I feel like, for the most part in our waivers, we talk about a guy who's like already shown the signs of popping off, or like is mid pop off, you know? With Clark one, that was an early one. That was like he hasn't popped off yet. It may take a week, but I think this is like a really good long-term pickup, and now it's paying off. So with a guy like that, I'm not dropping him. Obviously, there's the bigger names. Kempe, you're not dropping. Byfield,
what about
not dropping. Fiala. In our league, I would never drop Lafreniere.
Yeah.
In a league with shots and hits, even a 2-game week, I'm not dropping.
Yep. Me neither.
Doughty, you can shoot him into the sun. You shouldn't be on your roster in the first place. Yeah. You'd be surprised at the rostered percentage, but yeah, no, he shouldn't be rostered. We're obviously not dropping Kemper, even though he's been poo-poo. Yeah, so that's LA. From the Utah, I mean, I'm not even dropping Jack McBain, and on Utah, you know, like
that's
he's been
the name
sick.
I was curious about.
Yeah, like I mean, look, it's tough. Also, like I'm not really fighting for a playoff spot right now. Like I'm kind of a bit more comfortable, so I can hold on to these guys. If you're in a pinch, like I don't know, I feel like McBain's like he had a random like 3-point game, but like it's random because of who he is, but it's not random because of the
random because he was playing against. My fantasy team.
Well, no, that makes it not random because that's classic.
It took him like a month before that to accumulate 3 points. Then he got 3 points in one night when the
and 7
previous
shots.
He had 3 points. Yeah, and 7 shots was like the same as like his shot totals for like the 3 weeks prior combined.
Yeah,
so,
but I will say like there is it's not like Matthew Olivier where it came out of nowhere. Like they put Dylan Genther on McBain's line, and I saw the coach say that he really likes them together, and then they pop off and have an amazing game. So I think that bought a little leash for them to be on the line together at least for another week. And so I just think he has a lot of value, especially face-off wins from a winger with the massive hits. Anyways, I like him a lot. I'm not dropping him.
What about Peterka?
Who else? I mean, Peterka's, as long as he's power play 1. I mean, but he hasn't been
It's been really not great for about a month.
It really depends how deep your league is. Like in our league, I think in a normal league,
like if these guys are on waivers that we're about to talk about today, like I'd drop Peterka for them.
Yeah, that's fair. I think there's some good guys available that you could drop him for. I don't think he's untouchable. Is it crazy that I'd rather drop Peterka than McBain?
No, honestly, with how good he's been in the Banger Cats, it's like I'd get it.
You want different things from both of them, and one of them is really elite at what he's giving you. So
that's fair.
Yeah, he's been on a tear in shots and hits.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's pretty solid on the drops. go back
Yep.
to get into this week? Okay, yeah. So let's get into our top 10 points guys for week 16. Kevin, start us off with
Number 10.
at number 10, we have the aforementioned James Van Riemsdyk of the Detroit Red Wings, JVR, line 1, power play 1. Only a 3-game week, but look, as much as it sucks as a Patty Kane owner, JVR has been really sick lately. Like, he's been, I think, almost point per game over the past month, and he's been one of their top producers. I was watching one of their games, and like he's like directing the power play from the net front. Like he'll point his stick, he'll be like, pass it over there, pass it over there. Like, he's doing a good job on the power play and even strength, getting to be line 1 with Raymond and Larkin. So as long as the deployment lasts, I think he's an interesting pickup. I grabbed him. But yeah, so I mean, I don't think this is a long-term hold, but for this week while he's hot, ride the hot streak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I feel
not
like there's
much
not
to
much
say
to
on
say
that one.
besides. I was gonna say there's not much to say besides the fact that like we're interested because it's on power play 1, and it's going well. So if by the time you're listening to this, somehow Patrick Kane is back on power play 1, not interested in Van Riemsdyk anymore. We can only be so up to date because we have to record enough that like we have a sample size and like recent data and enough time to like upload the episode. But then, I mean, I don't know how, unless we're uploading like Sunday morning right before
Yeah.
everything.
No,
but we
we're
record,
pretty we're pretty crazy up to date. Like we're like
Yeah.
literally a day away. It can't do sooner than that. So
No.
so no, I think he's safe until this comes out.
Yeah,
Essentially.
as number 10 on the list also, right?
Yeah,
As we're
exactly.
skipping,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right, let's go to
Number 9.
at number 9, we have Victor Arvidsson of the Boston Bruins. Line 2, power play 2, only 3-game week. Someone has to be doing well if I'm recommending a line 2, power play 2, 3-game week guy. But Arvidsson's shots have been unreal. He had a 10-shot game lately, a few games ago, and his points have been popping off. This is definitely a short-term hold in my opinion, just unless he gets the deployment bump. I just don't see someone with that deployment sustainably having this level of points, but the shots have been there even before the points came. So if you're in need of shots and you're in need of some points for this week, then he's a solid pickup.
And just to mention, like he only has 3 games this week. Van Riemsdyk only has 3 games this week. A lot of other guys we're about to talk about have 4 games. So I think that's like a tier break in between like who I'd rather have on my on my roster. Like I don't think I would rather Arvidsson over any of the 4-game week guys this week. I just want the quantity and the volume. So and also Proface, we always forget this, but all these guys are less than 40% owned. So if you're playing in a league that's like 10 teams or even lower, or even some 12-team leagues, like check your waiver wire. If there's guys that are over 40% on, we're looking at Yahoo, but like throughout the other platforms, it's kind of similar. Check if there's other like options that are still good, because there might be names that are available on your waiver wire that we're not talking about today that might be better. So just do your due diligence and make sure you're not letting anybody slip through the cracks. But if you're in a deep league and Arvidsson is available, and you need the shots, I think he's one of those guys for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to
Number 8.
at number 8. We have someone who Jakey almost put as a sell high, but then he was too low rostered. So we have him in our waivers instead as a pickup for free. And that is Mikhail Backlund of the Calgary Flames. Line 2, power play 2, 4-game week. Again, the deployment makes it scream unsustainable, but if you look at the numbers and what he's been doing, it's been unreal. So Calgary's not a good team. He doesn't have good deployment, and he's like old and not, this type of player, which is crazy thing to say before recommending him. But when a guy's riding a hot streak like this, you pick him up, especially on a 4-game week, and then if he runs out of steam halfway through, you still get a couple good games out of him.
Yeah, so his deployment, I mean, that means he's not power play 1, but his minutes are huge. And with the minutes, like that's what's contributing to him being super good. High shots, really great shot volume over the past 2 weeks. He's at 3.14 shots per game. His faceoffs are awesome if you play in a league with faceoffs. The unsustainability comes from the fact that he's been very good on the power play, especially over the last week, and he's not on power play 1. So obviously that can be considered fluky. Nevertheless, like this is clearly a noticeable high streak with the minutes, with the production. I really like it as a pickup for this week, but really has to do with the 4 games, and I don't think it's sustainable. And I don't think, like, I didn't put him as a sell high because of that. He's too low rostered. That being said, there is something to say about, if Kadri leaves, he'll play a bigger role, this and that. So, like, like, that's some upside, but really I'm just looking at it for this week, and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, Calgary has a bottom 3 power play in the league, so you're not really expecting those power play points. All his production came from the last 2 games. He had 3 power points in the last 2 games, and before that it was a while since he had another power play point. Like I'm scrolling through his game log and I can't find another one. So, yeah. Just these centers that play a lot of minutes, they'll have stretches where they're getting exposed to the offensive production of the team, and he went through a stretch where he had like 11 points in 7 games or something, and I played him coincidentally during that window, and it was lovely. And
so did
looking forward to that again. Yes.
Yeah, good times. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right, number 7.
At number 7, we've got Matt Zuccarello of the Minnesota Wild. Line 1 power play 1, 4-game week. Those are the words I love to say. Line 1 power play 1 and 4-game week. That's right up my alley for these recommendations. But I will say that Minnesota recently put on IR Joel Eriksson and Matt Boldy. Eriksson was day-to-day, so that okay. But where did this Boldy thing come from? I don't know.
So crazy.
Super random. But this definitely makes Zuccarello worse. I mean, look, even strength, he'll get more minutes, but he was already playing line 1 with Kaprizov. It just makes the power play a lot worse. But in general, the fact that you have a guy like this line 1 power play 1 on a team like Minnesota that has such strong firepower, and he gets to play with all those best players, and on a 4-game week, like, you're definitely getting a couple points out of him for the week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I just want to say that, with Boldy and Eriksson being out, there's a chance. I mean, there's not a chance. I'm just going to say, like, they're going to rely on the remaining good players a lot, right? So it's going to be like Kaprizov and Zuccarello. I feel like that line is going to be on the ice a lot. 4-game week. And we know Boldy's missing the whole week. Like, they put him on IR. They said he's missing at least 4 games because of, like, how it works with IR. So I don't know the severity of the injury yet. But I know for this week, it bumps up Zuccarello, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
the
not.
Power play is worse, but yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like his minutes have been pretty decent all year, and without the star power on the Wild, it is scary. I'm not saying I disagree. I think it could even out, but it feels more like high risk, high reward because it'll be power played. If it's power play dependent, it's tough because they'll probably score less on the power play.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a great recommendation. It's a bit scarier than what it should have been.
For sure. That's why he's lower down on the list. All right, let's go to
number 6.
At number 6, the first of 2 Seattle Kraken on this list, we've got Matty Beniers. Line 1, power play 1, 4 games. Again, my favorite thing to say. And he's been kind of crazy lately. I don't know if you guys have checked out his game log, but he's been shooting face-off wins. I think he's been getting some blocks and the points, obviously. So we kind of mentioned in how McCann, we can't mention him anymore because he's over 40%, but we still have some other guys on that Kraken team that are some of their top guys and very low rostered because, I don't know, I think Kraken just have that reputation of kind of spreading the wealth and not really having any good fantasy assets, but this year seems to be a little different, or at least this last month. So I love Matty Beniers as a pickup.
Yeah, Beniers had an amazing rookie season. I think he won the Calder. Yeah, he won the Calder, and then he just kind of fell off the face of the earth. And now, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like properly good for this week and rest of season. Like, he is a good player. He's still super young, and yeah, I mean, for this week, it's definitely great for the hot streak. But this is the type of guy that if he's still doing well, I'm not thinking about dropping right away, especially because the following week he has 3 games. Not great, but it's not like he only has 2. So I like it as a pickup and hopefully hold.
Yeah, definitely has hold potential.
Yeah. Yep. I was gonna say though, with Beniers, I don't know why, but it's stuff like him and the next guy we're about to talk about. For some reason, a part of me is not buying into it. But that doesn't mean that for this week when you're streaming him, it's not a good option. It just means like the long term potential. What is it, JQ?
A little Proface on the next one is like it's almost the exact opposite type thing about him and the next guy. I know. So yeah, let's get into that one.
Let's go to
number 5.
At number 5, we have Jonathan Toews of the Winnipeg Jets. Line 2, power play 1. What year is it? 4-game week. Jonathan Toews being relevant in the year 2026. If you told anyone that a year ago, 2 years ago, like they'd be like, what are you on? And this is very clearly not sustainable.
I said they're the opposite because
because he's old.
Basically, they're like he's super old. Beniers is young, and he's on a team that's supposed to be good and is not good. And Beniers is on a team that's I don't think was supposed to be really good. Although who was it? Josh, you were higher on them coming in.
It was me.
It was Kevin, but then I was the one who drafted their goalie.
yeah. So we were like a little higher on them than consensus, but like Beniers is on like a not good team that's actually been pretty decent this year. And so it just feels like the exact opposite scenario. I buy into the Beniers one more as a long term, but for this week, I see why we got Jonathan Toews there higher. He's been really decent.
I mean, his shooting percentage over the last 4 games has been 66%. So
why shoot many when few do trick?
Yeah. Well said, Kevin Malone. But yeah, it just feels like it's working, but it shouldn't be working. So in my head, like personally, I'd prefer Backlund or Zuccarello or Beniers over Jonathan Toews, but I think he like deserves to be in this tier as well. I would just put him more in the back end.
I definitely take Toews over Backlund because Backlund doesn't have power play 1. So
yeah, but at least Backlund has like the shooting upside, whereas Toews is like you're getting one shot, and if it's not a goal, he's probably not shooting that shot.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, look, he's on a hot streak right now. None of us think it's going to last, but they have a 4-game week. Yeah, that middle grouping is kind of all a similar tier. So you can, choose how do you want to order it. I definitely take Toews over Backlund, and then I think I still take him over Zook with those injuries, and then Beniers and Toews you could, switch, but
I'm for sure taking Zook over him.
Okay. So
there you have it. That's it. Wrap it up.
That's it. It's lock it in. But no, like Toews been really good. We don't think it's sustainable, but for a 4-game week, he's worth a shot. Especially, it seems like he's cementing a spot on that power play 1 because they weren't garbage before he joined it, and now he's on it. So any remaining Cole Perfetti holders, which I really hope is no one. I think this is the final straw. You should just dump him.
I don't think anybody's been owning Cole Perfetti, but also just like, where does he stand with this team? Like, he was supposed to take a big step up and be like an integral part of this offense. I think he might be cooked here. Like, he might need to get traded and then for his value to like bounce back or something.
I think next year they're going to try him on. Even maybe later this year they'll try him on the power play 1 again. I mean, he was so good there end of last year and in the playoffs. And then they shipped out Ehlers, and the goal was obviously just put Perfetti where Ehlers was. And then their whole season went to a $sign, and so pretty much like they were scrambling, and like you're not going to take off any of the other 4 guys from the power play, right? You're not going to take off Morrissey, Scheifele, Connor, or Velarde. That's a nickel for the majority. It's been a while, but yeah. So it's obviously like Perfetti's the first guy down, and they had to shake something up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him there again next year. But for now, I think
went to a $sign is significant. Is certified banger management phraseology, because I don't think
I wanted to say the other one, but
what comes out of a $sign?
Yeah, but.
Farts.
Sure.
They went to farts. There you go.
Okay, let's
go into. I think this top 4 is a separate tier from the previous 6 that we mentioned. So let's get to
number 4.
At number 4, this is the only 3-game week that's cracked the top 8, but I thought it was worth mentioning this high up. We've got Charlie Coyle of the Columbus Blue Jackets, line 3, power play 1. Note on power play 1. And ever since their coaching change with Rick Bowness, he loves Coyle, and Coyle clearly loves him because he's been popping off. The shots on goal have been unreal. The points have been unreal. Power play points. He just really it's kind of crazy because he should not have been owned in any league before this. And then he would be a great pickup, and will be, if you guys are listening to this, when you guys are listening to this. But in our league, he was owned for like months. And there was no reason for it. Like anyways, good for the owner. He saw into the future, I guess, but it sucks that none of us were able to grab him. But yeah, so I think this is a fantastic pickup. As long as he keeps running hot like this, he's going to keep that power play 1 deployment. He clearly doesn't need, the even strength deployment to be successful with it. Like, he's shooting like crazy, even with the deployment he's getting. So I really like him as a pickup. They have a 4-game week the week after. So this could be a, 2 weeks in a row pickup.
And boats going up for all Columbus assets, it feels like. This Rick Bowness change was like exactly what they needed. Except for Monahan. For the moment, I'm still keeping my eyes up, but I think Fantilli got a huge bump too. Like, he's been on fire. I think there's a honeymoon phase with a new coach always, it feels like. So we'll have to see like how the boat simmers down. Like maybe the title
boat
plays
is crazy.
up, and how did the sails of the boat carry it after the waves end? I don't know. I'm trying to go really hard in this metaphor, but
Kevin's seen Pirates of the Caribbean many times, so he knows boats.
My first ever crush was on Keira Knightley from Pirates of the Caribbean.
You're gonna say on Johnny Depp.
Well, first of all, Orlando Bloom over Johnny Depp. I would do crazy things for Orlando Bloom, but
I actually somehow I don't know how this happened. You know, like people talk about like gaps in your education where like you somehow like miss out on something. I never watched Pirates of the Caribbean as a kid. I don't know how it happened. Like it was right up my alley. Like it was so popular. There's no reason I shouldn't have, but I never did. And then like I told that to Eva like I want to say like a year or two ago, and she was like, "What? We're watching all of them now." Especially because I had made her watch Lord of the Rings with me, which she loved, but I still had to make her do it. She's like, "You're watching all these now. Like you're gonna love them." And so we like watched all of them like back to back, and I was obsessed. I was like, "Oh my god, these are the best things ever." You know, I was acting like Jack Sparrow. She's like, "Yeah, you're only like 20 years too late." You know, and I'm like, I was like trying to talk to people about it. I'm like, "Have you seen this movie, Pirates of the Caribbean?"
Ever heard of it?
They're like, "What are you talking about?"
You're like Michael Bolton on The Lonely Island.
Yes. So then I showed Eva that because I was like, okay, well, you know, I didn't get the song beforehand, but now I get it even like way more, and it's so good.
It's such a good song.
It's a certified banger.
It's so good.
Fantastic. First of all, the trilogy, the first 3 movies are exceptional as a trilogy. Like it stands up against so many other trilogies. The 4th and 5th movies after that, they're kind of like, it was more of like a little cash grab, it felt like, and I was a little disappointed. The last one that came out, I was like very disappointed. I thought it was dog water. But
if you go into it like knowing that, then it's not too bad.
Fair. You can still enjoy it. It's still Jack Sparrow. It's just the last one, they felt like so, they made him like stupid. And it was just like one of those like stupid humors. And he's always got a little stupid too, but you know it's cooking, right? He was not cooking in that last one.
That's a great way to put it. Back to Charlie Coyle.
Fudge. Now I want to say something else about Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I have the best memories ever because first of all, they are exceptional movies. So if you haven't seen them yet, please go watch them. They stand the test of time.
They do.
But I remember they used to come out in May every year, like end of May, June. So I'd get like all my friends and we'd go watch them at the cinema like for my birthday, and that was like core memory unlocked. Now everybody can share that memory with us and me specifically.
That. You know, I closed my eyes, I could imagine I was there.
Yeah, it was based on a ride at Disney World.
I thought you were going to say it was based on a true story. And I was like, what? No way.
How do you think the Seattle Kraken got their name?
Oh my god.
But yeah, it was based on like a ride at, it's Disneyland, whatever, but
same diff.
Yeah.
Never been. Never will, but it's fine.
Okay. Kevin's having a crazy day. One note. He is an alliteration. It doesn't really count, though, does it? If it's a CH and a C, I don't know if that counts. I wonder if any English majors are out there. Let us know if that counts as alliteration, if it's the same letter but not the same sound. But one more note on you mentioning the Columbus Blue Jackets assets going up. Yep. I did pick up in our league Kent Johnson. I didn't put him on the list. I don't think he's warranted. He's done enough yet to warrant being on the list. But I saw a quote from Rick Bowness essentially being like, I love this kid. He's going to keep getting a ton of ice time as long as he keeps, like showing up and being great, whatever. Mm-hmm. Essentially being like, I love Ken Johnson. He put him back on power play 1. His ice time jumped by like 5 minutes since the coaching changed. First game, he didn't put up any points. Second game, he had a goal and an assist, including a power play point. And then there was also quotes from Johnson essentially being like, I like coming to the rink again. I like my job again, so clearly, the old coach was not very well liked by some of the players. I don't know if you saw that Elvis Merzlikins quote where he got asked like post game, like, oh, you guys are winning now. Like, is it like a new system? Like, like healthy guys, like new coach. And he's just like, new coach. And that, so clearly he was not a fan
specifically, it makes sense because like he was even getting benched on back-to-backs. So like I'm sure he's thrilled that he's able to just like play hockey again. I wonder 100%. How like the other players on the team because like Ken Johnson too, like his role was like garbage.
Yeah.
And now he's actually playing minutes again. So
yes, it was garbage, exactly. Love that.
There's a lot to like here with Johnson, actually. I know he's not on the list, won't spend too much time, but he was like he was like, near 0.9 points per game last year. Like that's really elite. This is a huge fall off. So actually, like as we started talking about Columbus, I went to pick him up in our league, and lo and behold, I was delivered the negative news. But but yeah, so I like it as a pickup a lot. But Coyle, I mean, this is wild. His shots have been awesome.
No, we're talking Columbus.
What?
What?
You said this is wild, but we're talking about the Blue Jackets.
That one
Okay,
went
it's
over my
wild for me.
head. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I like it with Goyle. Long story short.
Sorry, I broke your train of thought for such a
It's cool.
stupid joke.
It was a stupid joke, but it's fine.
Yeah. All right, should we get into our main recommendations?
Yes,
Yeah,
with the top 3 with number 3.
I never know if I could say the word like top 3 or if that's like
Yeah, you
encroaching on
can.
Kevin's territory. Okay, as long as I have as long as I don't say number. Okay, cool.
The
Yeah.
beers
So
are
anyways,
there. You just gotta make sure you don't jump over the fence.
yeah, exactly. So at number 3, we've got another Seattle Kraken, Jordan Eberle of the Seattle Kraken, another 4-game week, line 1, power play 1. He's kind of hopped on and off this list for a long time, but over the past month, he's been unreal. He's been at like 0.85 points per game, 0.4 power play points, 2 point something shots. Like it's really crazy what he's been doing. He's been on my team. I've been loving it. You guys could call me out if you disagree. I did put two of our top 3 guys are guys on my team. So if I'm being too homery,
I
let
like
me
it.
know. But I think these are solid ones. But yeah, Eberle's been unreal. And other than Jared McCann, he's my favorite pickup for a Kraken this week.
Yeah, like he's gone full Davy Jones this season, and yeah, and he's just been really reliable. I'd say that it's actually been a little slower for him than I thought recently, just on the averages, but it's still on the season as a whole. Like it's really good, and what I like about it is the consistency, right? Like, you know, again, over the last 10, he scored in pretty much every game. So that's a really great sign for someone you pick up, because when the bulk of the production comes in one game, everyone knows like that screams unsustainable,
sketchy.
but this is sustainable. So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense that you have him here.
I mean, we talked about him like week 2 or week 3. I picked him up super early in the season, and we had him kind of like in that Kyle Palmieri type of conversation of like a guy who's like not too exciting, you know, but like is getting sick deployment, sick minutes, and is just gonna like stay on your roster all year, like surprisingly. So I'm curious if people picked him up early on and he's just stuck with on their roster like you did with me. But I mean, he actually had a cold stretch at one point. I think I dropped him and then I picked him back up. But for the most part, he's been on my team almost all year. So, but right now he's hot and he's got a 4-game week, so it's easy.
Is it a hot take to say that I'd rather have Jordan Eberle on my roster than Aliaxi Protis?
I'd rather Eberle.
I haven't monitored Protus as of late, but before that injury,
You don't need to.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
on
look,
the
Eberle
power
has like
play. We're gonna break it.
0.4 power play points over the past month, so Protus
Yeah,
will not have that. But
he's
yeah,
been
let's
bad
go
as of
to
Wait
let's
till he
go
picks it
to-
up. Wait till Protus picks it up.
You'll see.
We'll see.
All right,
I'm
Kevin,
at one
take
point
us
April for the
to.
injury. Just saying.
Yeah, he was so sick, guys. All right, at number 2.
At number 2, another guy on my team. You see, I didn't put either of them at number 1 to show that I'm not biased. But at number 2, we've got Josh Doan of the Buffalo Sabres. He's currently line 3, power play 1. Wouldn't be surprised to see him back at line 1 in a few days. 4-game week, and he's been insane ever since I picked him up. If you go to his game log and you look, when did he start being insane? It's exactly the game I picked him up. So not that that's really valuable to anyone, but I just wanted to brag a little. But yeah, I know he's been crazy
We have
his
a
last
discount
like
for that,
5-6
okay?
games. Okay, sorry, my bad. I'll get in there. I'm a genius. Yeah, no, it's he's been really, really good. We talked about him, I feel like a few weeks ago, and we said like this could be like a season-long pickup. He's really good. And then he actually had like a really quiet like 2 weeks. So I think a lot of people dropped him, and guy who had him in our league dropped him, and I snatched him up, and I was like, I know even if he's putting up like some of these like no point games, like I know the potential is there, and just all the advanced stats I was seeing were saying Josh Doan is the best player on the Buffalo Sabres, which is crazy because obviously there's Tage Thompson who just put up a 5-point game, and obviously Thompson's the best and Dahlin's the best, but Buffalo fans love Doan. They love what he's doing. They're all talking about how they want to like lock him up already on a contract extension. They're saying how they fleeced Utah for the Paterka trade.
They did.
And the vibes are just super positive around Doan, and I'm very happy. I'm going to hold him all season. I'm very excited about it.
The one thing I will say that makes me apprehensive about this one is that his shooting percentage has been ridiculous. It's at 45% since he's has been on this ridiculous stretch.
Since I picked him up.
Yeah, since he's been on Josh's roster.
Yeah, like so that is.
Well, now he has
scary,
something to
right?
play for.
Fool's won 14
also-
of the last 16 games.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, and the shots hits are not great. I obviously see why he's here. He's on a hot streak on a team that's been funny, like really kind of high flying as of late, as Kevin mentioned. So honestly, to me, I do like it. I think the position's fair, but this is really a volatile choice. It could go really well for you or really poorly. I don't think there's any in between.
Yeah, I will say in terms of that like shooting percentage being crazy high, before this streak, he was like in all the like luck metrics, he was like last place. Like it was like huge regression coming. And now he definitely like overcompensated the other direction. I think
Yeah.
it'll be somewhere in the middle. But yeah, while it's hot in a 4 game week, you definitely ride that. 14 wins in 16 games is actually absurd. I didn't
Yeah.
realize after their 10 game win streak, then they lost a game, then they just went right back to it. But that's nuts.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
take us to
Number 1.
at number 1, we have Ryan Leonard of the Washington Capitals. Line 2, power play 1, 4 game week. We talked about Leonard a lot, I think, over the past couple of weeks. This could be one of those that we just keep mentioning until he pops 40%. But he's fantastic. Look, I didn't expect him to be this good this year because I didn't think he would have a spot on power play 1. The second he got that deployment, it's kind of like there's kind of this like tier of guys, right? Like young guys who haven't broken out yet, but like from watching and like the type of prospect they are, like they're NHL ready, and like once they get the deployment, they're gonna be elite. And maybe not elite, maybe that's an exaggeration. They'll be really good, but Ryan Leonard's in that category. Like I'm also thinking like Brant Clark in LA, right? Like that was like we were just waiting for him to get power play 1. Um, Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of a couple of. I mean, Adam Fantilli, right? That was
Yep.
another one. We were like the second he gets power play 1. So it's kind of like a tier of like you don't want to hold them all year when they're not power play 1 because they're not doing much. But like once they get it, you got to hop on that and just boat goes up into rocket ship, as we like to say.
We do like to say that.
Yeah,
But
this
I
is
go ahead, Ricky. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is the type of guy that you'd probably end up picking like late middle rounds next year because he's been good, but it's not like super flashy, and then he ends up being like one of the steals of the draft next year. And what happens with younger players, obviously, it's a bit of a mixed bag. He could have great weeks, he could have not so great weeks, but as the season goes on, usually things get better and better. You know, like you mentioned with Perfetti finishing the year last year super strong. And I think that Leonard's I've been wanting to get Leonard on my team for the whole season just because I think he's gone more or less under the radar, and it's really finally starting to pick up. I haven't been able to acquire him, so it's not looking like now is a good time, but I
No.
think it's a great choice. And in any deep bangers league, he's probably I wouldn't be surprised if he's rostered already, but there's enough. The percentages are not there, so yeah, he should be picked up in more, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I guess to point out with like these young guys kind of popping off towards the end of the season, I feel like the Olympics will actually help that even more because I think what a tough thing with these young guys is that they're not used to the full 82 game like intensity of an NHL season, right? So a lot of times they can get, kind of like they're like down and like like they're it's just a bit hard on them, right? And so you have the Olympic break coming up, which is not a break that we normally have,
Mhm.
and they're all going to get rested because none of these young guys are going to the Olympics for the most part, and then they get to come back strong if they have the deployment and they get like a full canister of energy going for the rest of this take them the rest of the season. Like I think that a lot of these young guys could have a surprisingly good end of season because of that.
Yeah, the same line of thinking with Ken Johnson.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Same thing.
Okay, let's go to. So I know sometimes we recap our top 3. It's in a top 10 now, but our top 3 are Eberle, Doan, and Leonard. But let's go to our top 5 bangers with a hard B under
Bangers.
40% owned.
They
Exactly.
are all part of the Bang Gang. All right. At number 5.
At number 5, we have Yakov Trenin of the Minnesota Wild. He has a 4 game week. He's been one of the best hitters in the league all year. I just wait for any 4 game week to chuck him onto this list because if you want hits, he's your guy.
Question
Yeah.
for you, Josh.
Answer
Why-
for you, Kevin.
Why is he? My question is, why is he so low on this list? Because I feel like I'd put
I
him
feel
higher.
like I feel like he's a lot more one-dimensional than the other guys on the list. Like I feel like he'll be the best hitter on the list for sure.
Mhm.
But like some of these other guys, they'll block, they can offer you some points, they can offer you some shots, some pims. I feel like him, it's really just pure hits.
Okay, I hear you. For me, I would have swapped him in number 3, but I guess we'll see. We'll discuss them when we get there.
I could be a bit biased because I had him on my roster and he was awesome. So
Yeah.
we can talk about it when we get there.
But yeah, Trennan, I feel like, and he might even play more ice time now that they have some injuries and they have to
That's
rotate the
true.
lines a little often. So 4 game week and he's hitting a bunch to keep it
Yeah.
family friendly. but yes.
He's
Not much
hitting
else to
out
say.
the $$sign.
Yeah, whatever comes out of that, he's doing that to other people. So
Bingo.
yes. All right, number 4.
At number 4, back again, we've got Radko Gudas of the Anaheim Ducks. 4-game week this week. Look, he hasn't been that insane to the point that he's an automatic include every week, but he is an automatic include any week they have a 4-game week, especially a 4-game week with, I mean, I was going to say all these off nights, but actually it's pretty, we mentioned this, pretty kind of jumbled and not really any busy nights, but they do play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, which in general is the off nights. So that's why he's here. He's still hitting like 3.5 hits per game, 1.8 blocks. His PIMs are up again, which is really nice in PIMs leagues because he used to be really good for that, and then he wasn't doing great for that at the start of the season. I guess that kind of ties in with the Ducks just sucking lately. Is like, you know, I feel like when teams are doing poorly, they take more penalties, or that kind of like is a vicious cycle. So
Yeah.
or a not so vicious cycle if you want the PIMs. So yeah, I like Gudas for this week, and I mean he should still be rostered just rest of the season in bangers leagues, even though he's been a bit underwhelming, because you're just not going to find that consistency from most guys on the waiver wire.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a name that's been on this list forever. It feels like. I feel like last week was the first time that we didn't mention him. But he deserves to be here. If you're in a true bangers league, like this is a guy that's never on waivers, it feels like. So if he is, now's your chance to pick him up and hold him for the rest of the season. Even though Anaheim has, like Josh said, been really bumpy as of late, I still think he's the type of guy that's going to deliver for you and come to fantasy playoffs. And you need to have like a strong defensive presence for like banger cats. Like he's your guy.
Do you think the blocks positively regress?
He's been like weird, where like he had 2 games in a row with 6 blocks, and then after that they completely disappeared for like 5 games.
Yeah.
So it's averaging out to like what it should be, but obviously it's not as fun. You know, you'd rather just have the consistency. I think it should be around like 2 per game. Like that's kind of what I would expect for him.
Because as of late, it's not even close. But on the season, it's not bad, right? So it's hopefully that picks up.
That's
it's
why like I
hits though.
Yeah, I didn't want to include him if it wasn't a 4-game week, just because he has been a bit slower. But like long term, I'm not too worried about it. He's just like a guy you plug into your roster and kind of forget about, and he delivers for you. All right, let's go to
number 3.
At number 3, we have Adam Klapka of the Calgary Flames, 4-game week. I may have put him too high. I had him on my roster for like 2 weeks, and he was really good. Like he would randomly get me points. He was getting hits. He was blocking also. He would shoot. And the thing with him versus like a Trenton is like he has stints where he plays line 1. Like he randomly gets shuffled around the lineup, and since it's Calgary and everything's wide open, like he gets top tier minutes sometimes. And I was watching some of the Calgary games. I remember I owned him the week that it was the 2 Battle of Alberta games, and that was also the most insane McDavid Draisaitl week. So I was watching both of those, even though they were super late. And like even though they were getting absolutely demolished, like the commentators were all saying like Klapka's so good, you know, like they just really liked him. So I think he's a really solid pickup for if you need hits, and he can provide a bit of more other stuff. Probably I should have put Trenton higher just because he hits more, but I do feel like Klapka could randomly, like I don't really expect Trenton to do much outside of hits. I feel like Klapka can get you some blocks, get you some shots, and randomly get you some points. But actually, no, the main thing for Klapka versus Trenton is the PIMs. That's his penalty minutes are really good.
Yeah, I prefer to have Trenton just because I feel like he'll shoot more, hit more, and the blocks are like pretty much the same. And also, like, to keep in mind, if you want to try to optimize your schedule for picking up players, like Klapka does have a 2-game week the following week. So it's a pure stream for this week, which is not the end of the world with guys like this. You probably were picking them up for just a pure stream this week anyways. But it's always nice to know that you may not have to absolutely drop them right after. So that's why I would have put him lower on the list, but I still think he's a valuable option for this upcoming week. And like you said, the PIMs are great. Like a guy that's always down to have a fight or undisciplined on the ice is always nice to pick up, because streaming PIMs it's not a linear science. Like there's guys that are more likely to do it, but
really
it's never a
hard.
guarantee. So
Yeah, it's really hard to stream PIMs. I know that I held on to Evander Kane way too long in our league because he was so good at PIMs. I was like, even though he's putting zeros everywhere else, he's just getting a minor penalty every game. And then those PIMs dried up, so I was like, hey, why am I holding this guy? But yeah, no, like it's really hard to stream PIMs consistently. You can have a guy who gets in a fight every game, and then you pick him up, and then he just becomes like, you know, super nice for like a week. So it's really and you pick up a guy who, you know, you just wanted him for points. So you pick up like a Kent Johnson type of guy, and he randomly gets a game misconduct. You know, like that's the highs and lows of playing with PIMs.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, let's go to
number 2.
Jiggy's like, not interested. Move on,
Yeah.
please. I'm
Well, the next
bored.
one's exciting.
Yeah, no,
It
that's
is.
fair. I'm the only person who gets excited about Adam Klavka. But yeah, let's go to number 2. We've got Eeli Tolvanen of the Seattle Kraken. Again, he's I think been on our bangers list the past 3 weeks because they've had 4-game weeks all 3 times.
Mhm.
Again, a 4-game week, and shots, hits, blocks, points.
He's a
He
beast.
does it all. I'm playing against him next week, so he's gonna pop off even more. It's just everything's lining up to this being a great pickup.
Yeah, and even though the points have dried up, like he does go on those random streaks where he's like good for points.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's really great, and I know without power play 1 consistently, it's tough to rely on that. Nevertheless, I feel like this power play is kind of just all over the place. It does fluctuate at different times. He'll be there, so that it's nice to know that he's like he could appear on the points list as well, but he's just safe here. So I feel like it's a great pickup for this week if you can.
Yeah,
do it.
he's safe. We put him nice in a safe spot. Can't go wrong there. But no, he definitely is the type of guy where you're like, I love these types of guys where you like see the name and you're like, which list do I put him on? He's good for both.
Yeah.
So those are the best, obviously.
I will
Yeah.
say though that the points did dry up for a while, and I think a lot of that was correlated with Chandler Stevenson being hurt or sick, whatever it was. But he missed some time, and I think that definitely impacts him because he's a 2C on this roster. So I think now
Yeah.
that he's back, I wouldn't be surprised if the points start to tick up a little bit. And he's been just so insane for bangers. Like the shots, the hits, the blocks, they've all been there. And
Mhm.
he's had games where he's been like truly elite at all of them. So it's actually crazy to know that like the ceiling is there for all 3 categories. And when the points are there, I mean, Seattle is like low key a top 10 power play. So if he ever gets PP 1 time consistently too, like he's exposed to a great situation. I love Tolvanen. I feel like even if he's not like we didn't put him in the points category, but like his main foundation is the bangers and what he can deliver there. But with the points upside that he has, I actually really like having him on my roster.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to
Number 1.
number 1, the man that I discovered, Jeremy Lauzon of the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm gonna bring that every time he's on.
Yep.
He's on the list.
So every episode.
4-game week this week, 4-game week next week. Actually, looking ahead at Vegas's schedule. Okay, in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the next 6 weeks, they have 4 or more games 5 out of 6 of those weeks.
Wow.
So if you're looking for a pickup for like 6 weeks of just insane schedule, pick up a Vegas player. And in this case, pick up Jeremy Lauzon for bangers, and you're going to be set for bangs for the next month and a half. So actually, it's probably going to be longer than that because that goes over the Olympic break. So you'll have him for like 2 months. So yeah, no, he's a great pickup. He's been insane for hits and blocks and pims. He's been shooting a little bit. Not much to say here. He's a plug-in guy with great schedule coming up.
For sure.
I may rather Lauzon over Gudis come the fantasy playoffs.
That's what I said.
I know. But also my logic was sound when I said it 2 weeks ago. But listen, opinions
Yeah.
change, and maybe in 2 weeks I change my mind again. Who knows? But we're always making a decision right in this moment with the information we have right now. And he's just been on a tear recently. It feels like he's playing like a lot, like for the whole season, he was playing 14 to 16 minutes a night, bottom pairing. Now I guess with some injuries, like he was playing 20 minutes a night recently. It's nuts.
Yeah.
If Jeremy Lauzon's playing 20 minutes a night, like he can do some damage. So
Exactly.
would love to pick him up if he was available.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
I
was
did
also
try
on
to
the
trade
Buddhist
for him.
train, and I'm changing to Lauzon.
The Gudis trade made sense. Even Josh came on, you know?
I was Lauzon, and then you guys convinced me, and now I wish I'd stayed on my my train.
Yeah. Like,
But your
it's
train
kind
looks
of
so fun.
Yeah.
It's a feather splitter over there with this one, but like realistically, it's. I mean, they could both be very good and do similar things. Just with the minutes, Lauzon's doing a lot.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to
exactly.
hop on the banger management train, you know?
Yeah, it's a fun train.
All right, let's get to
Okay.
some goalies.
Let's do that. So we've got top 3 quantity goalies. These guys are going to get 2+ starts, under 40% owned. Look, I'm going to preface this third one with he sucks, okay?
Yeah.
But it's hard to find goalies who are going to guarantee to get you 2+ starts that are under 40% owned. And anyways, let's get into it.
Number 3.
With number 3, we've got Jonathan Quick of the New York Rangers. I know, don't come after us. He sucks. He's garbage. But like I said, we recommend 3 guys who are going to get you guaranteed 2 starts under 40% owned. And there really aren't that many. There's no teams this week that have 2 back-to-backs that I can, that's always a cheap one for me. I'm like, ooh, 2 back-to-backs, easy. I'll
Yeah.
take one of those. But there weren't any this week. He is the starter for the Rangers. I know that's not a great place to be these days. They said they're essentially retooling, they're trading Panarin. But this week they play Anaheim and LA on a back-to-back, and then San Jose. I'm not too scared of any of those matchups. Look, with Quick, he can let in like 10 goals against, but like, look, if you need the volume, he's a guy I wouldn't. It's tough to say he's in our top 3 for this, and I wouldn't pick him up, but that's kind of how it is because I couldn't find anyone else who would get multiple starts.
Can
He's
I give
obviously
you?
this is bad. I just wanted to say like this is like it's like it's fair. I get it. But it's obviously really tough. The one thing I will say is that Quick has been a very top tier goalie in the league for years. Obviously, he's gone through like a stretch, but it's not the type of like if anybody can kind of just bounce back from it and then still be good, it's someone who's like won multiple Stanley Cups and is kind of just like sticking around for the vibes. So I will say that it's bad. It's been bad. He's the guy I least rather on this list, quality and quantity starters. But it's not impossible that he actually has an okay week with these matchups. But again, like he's the least of the 6 we're going to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I was going to say was, first of all, Quick has been like the worst goalie in fantasy because you have to start him because you picked up the start on the Rangers. So he's been in your lineup every time he's played, and it's been dog awful. Like he's losing you weeks if you're in a category league, if you're in a points league. It's been bad. But if you're desperate for a starter, like he's one of the guys that's going to be available. There is a name that you did not put on this list, Josh, and that
Okay.
I may rather have out of all these 3 goalies potentially.
That's
But I
gonna get
guess
multiple
maybe
starts.
yeah. I mean,
And,
I think
it's under 40%.
I think so. He's
Okay, who you got?
26% owned on Yahoo right now. What do you think about Joel Hofer?
Okay, so I looked into Hofer. I wasn't certain he was gonna get multiple starts.
That's the
I mean,
thing,
he should.
right?
He's been unreal.
He's been the starter technically.
He
He
has
shut
been.
up Carolina. They beat Tampa.
Yeah. It's tough because like this section, the thing is, next week they have 3 games and one's a back-to-back. So he's getting 1 to 2 starts.
Yeah.
Like if he doesn't get that first game, he's only getting 1 start next week.
But is that going to be better than Jonathan Quick? That's the thing.
Well, yes, I'd much rather
No,
hope
for sure.
Quick.
But
That's
I
not
know
the
the 2
question.
starts not guaranteed, so you don't feel comfortable putting him on this list. Absolutely.
That's it. But no, I that's a great name, and honestly, I should have put him in the quality one. I mean, I like all the quality ones I put, and the matchups weren't that crazy for him, and it's also St. Louis. But no, it's worth mentioning his name because he has been really good. And if you think that he's getting the 2 starts, then I would definitely prefer him to maybe not all 3 of these guys, but to Quick for sure.
Yep. I just wanted to throw it out there because I think he's been a hot name too. Like potentially the new starter on St. Louis, he's playing exceptionally well. Like if the team is ramping up, like Dylan Holloway is about to come back. Like maybe the team's getting healthy.
Baby.
Yeah. They're missing Robert Thomas, but who even knows? Like
who needs Thomas when you got Dylan Holloway?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. I'd rather Hofer than Quick. I wasn't certain about the 2 starts.
No, I get it.
He kind of just doesn't belong on either list. It's just a bit ambiguous, but he should be better than all of these names. I do agree. It just depends on what he gets.
Yeah.
So
okay, let's go to
number 2.
At number 2 of the Pittsburgh Penguins, we have Arturs Shilovs, multiple Arturs. And he's been kind of like up and down all season, but it seems that him and Stuart Skinner are kind of splitting starts now. And Pittsburgh's been solid all season, a lot better than we expected. They're playing Seattle, Calgary / Edmonton, and then Vancouver. So as long as I forgot to check which where his alternate starts are going to line up. Jakey, you're a Skinner owner. Do you know?
He should
offhand?
He should play the Calgary game as his first
perfect.
game of
That's
the
what
week.
I thought. Yeah, that's perfect. So he's going to get Calgary and Vancouver. That's sick. I'm taking those 2 starts any day of the week. That's probably the 2 ideal teams you can play against in any given week. So, so I think this is a great pickup.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, Jakey, you're getting Edmonton with Skinner.
Yeah, that part sucks. But Skinner's been a lot better. Obviously, he can't be on this list. He's at 52% owned right now. So either way, Shilovs could still bleep the bed. But
$8, $10, I'd come out bed.
But I do like it with the matchups, and honestly, the last 2 games he's been really, really good.
Yeah,
like 920 and a 968. So, well, he actually lost both those games, which is pretty crazy. She loves, but yeah, I think it's a great choice for this week.
Yep, no, that's a good one. And let's get to our
Number 1.
At number 1, he keeps popping up. Philip Grubauer of the Seattle Kraken. They seem to be in pretty much a time split. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen today because for the first time, Grubauer got back-to-back starts. But, like, from what I was reading, I think they just wanted Decord playing in his hometown. So that's why they kind of, for the back-to-back, they did that. So if Decord... So I don't know if Grubauer gets this next start and they just go back to alternating, then it's like, okay, Decord just lost out on a start. If Decord gets in, they go back to alternating, then it was just a weird blip.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any world where Decord gets less than 50% of the starts, but I could be wrong with how well Grubauer's been playing, and Seattle's just rolling, so they have no real reason to want to switch up what they've been doing with the alternate starts. All that to say, he should get two games this week because of the 4-game week. They're playing Pittsburgh, Islanders, Anaheim, and New Jersey. You know, Islanders and Anaheim, I'm very not worried about. Pittsburgh, like Jakey said, even with Sheeloff's putting up sick numbers, they still aren't necessarily winning all their games, so I'm not too worried about that. And then New Jersey's very, like, hit or miss. Either they're scoring 5 goals or they're the worst team in the league. So I'll say none of these are ones I'm too worried about, especially on a Seattle team that's been unreal lately, and Grubauer's been really good.
Yeah, one thing here, and totally agree, he belongs in this spot, number 1 on the quantity goalies. He could be really good for quality too. I still think Decord has a leg up to be the 1, not the 1A, like the actual 1. NHL teams know, like, you know, the schedule by and large, you know, better than we do as fantasy hockey analysts. And the truth is, they're playing 12 games in 3 weeks, even if it's not back to back necessarily. Like, I understand why they did the split, because Grubauer is a very formidable backup, but Decord, I would still say beyond this week, should be the actual starter. That would be my guess, but we'll see.
I mean, I agree. I do think that if Grubauer keeps playing unreal, they're going to have to keep alternating. But I think the second Grubauer, like, misses a step, and also, like, we know who Grubauer is, right? Like, he's not going to do this all season. There's just you don't just suddenly at however old he is, you know, like, just be like, I'm going to be good this year on, you know, like, it doesn't happen for the most part. So I don't expect it to last, but for the next week or two, or until he loses that step, I think they will be alternating. But in the long run, I'm definitely Decord as the starter.
I will show a peek behind the curtain a little bit, but if you open the Philip Grubauer Yahoo chat, I've been in there recently answering people's questions, because I was just like,
you talk in the Yahoo chats?
Of course.
You're crazy.
Not all the time, but sometimes. I should start referencing, be like, hey, I'm from Banger Management, check us out or something. Maybe I should start doing that. But I was just doing my due diligence on, like, goalies to pick up. And then I looked at the Grubauer chat, and I just, every time I click on a player, I also click on the Yahoo comments just to see what people are saying.
Oh, for sure. I do the same.
And then people are just like, obviously, when you're in a specific player's chat, it's always going to be biased towards that player, obviously. But then I'm, like, reading some of the comments, and then somebody's just like, I need to activate Blackwood. Do I drop, like, John Gibson or Grubauer? And I just, like, answered, like, well, obviously Grubauer. Like, John Gibson is the starter, like, the main starter on a team that's, like, winning a lot of games, being insane or whatever. And then people are just, like, downvoting me, and, like, and I'm like, okay, like, somebody that was crazy. But then the person that actually, like, put that initial question, like, was like, oh, thanks for your comment, like, appreciate it or whatever. People are just like, do I drop, who's better, Grubauer or Decord? I'm just like, you know, it's a split, but I think Decord is, like, their main guy if anything happens, and then I'm getting downvoted. So
I can't believe you're actually messaging in these chats. Like, that's crazy. That's very brave.
Yeah.
It's literally like
or Allmark, and I was just like, that was actually tough. That's a genuine question, but I said, like, if you need games
Allmark,
this week,
for
obviously Grubauer, but, like, I think Allmark has way more upside rest of season. So anyways.
No, these things are, like, such a hive minds of, like, that. Everyone in that chat, for the most part, is people who own that player, are on the hype train. So if you say anything against the player, you're getting downvoted. The only time where you can say something bad about a player in their chat is if they're playing really bad.
Yeah.
And then everyone hates them. Everyone's like, you suck, you loser, you know?
Yeah,
like,
you're right, he is bad.
Yeah, exactly. But if a guy's playing well, even if it's the most unsustainable thing in the world, everyone's like, to the moon, he's the GOAT.
Yeah. There was a Grubauer or Wallstead, and it was like 7 votes Grubauer, 8 votes Wallstead. And honestly, to me, that's actually pretty close. But I still think I'm going Wallstead, but, like, a slight smidge, just because of, like, what we've seen him do previously.
I know, but it's getting very frustrating as a Wallstead owner.
Jake is about to drop Wallstead.
It's scary, but I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's go to our quality goalies real quick. These are ones who should get you one good matchup. Again, under 40% owned. Let's start off with
number 3.
At number 3, we have Eric Comrie of the Winnipeg Jets. Obviously, this is not a name that inspires much confidence or excitement, especially with how he was with Hellebuck out, but Winnipeg is on a bit of a hot streak lately, having won 3 of their last games. They're playing Chicago and St. Louis on the back-to-back, And I just think that it's either one of those is a great matchup. And, if Winnipeg's on a little hot streak, he should be able to get that win.
This one is where I'm taking Hofer over Comrie. That's one where I'm like,
Okay.
if he could get that game, like who would you rather in that game, Hofer or Comrie?
I guess let's see what what the other option is. It's either Dallas or LA. Wait,
For
I'm on the wrong week. Sorry. My bad. No, wait. St.
Basically, I'm
Louis.
saying would you rather
Yes,
have Hofer playing Winnipeg or Comrie
Okay, for the
playing St.
Winnipeg game.
Louis?
Sorry, I thought you were talking about their back-to-back the coming week.
No, sorry. I meant like which goalie would you rather have in that game
For
if they
that
play each
game,
other?
I'm definitely taking Hofer over Comrie. It's just that it's not a
Yeah.
guarantee that Hofer's getting that start. Taking like in addition, like St. Louis is going to be rested that against Winnipeg, whereas Winnipeg's going to be on a back-to-back. So that's the second game of their back-to-back. But it's just the not guaranteed. But yes, if Hofer gets that start, he's above Comrie for sure.
Yeah. That being said, I do agree that Comrie's gonna like if he starts one of these two games, like Winnipeg should win like the games, but I still think like Hofer would get better percentages, etc.
Yeah.
I also I think I'd rather him play Chicago because even with Bedard coming back, they've been meh. I know that like a lot of them were sick recently, so it's definitely a good back-to-back situation for a not great goalie in Comrie.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, their team is hot right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there could be worse opponents.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, Connor Hellebuck, three wins in 3 straight games.
Yeah.
Maybe the bounce back is starting to happen.
Maybe.
I told everybody to buy low and everybody was pissed.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to
number 2.
And number 2, we have a classic on this list. Casey DeSmith of the Dallas Stars. They play Columbus and St. Louis. I know Columbus has a new coach bump and St. Louis has a Joel Hofer bump, but if you're Dallas and you're playing either of these teams, I'm not worried.
Yeah, I mean, whenever there's a back-to-back for Dallas on any given week, I feel like Casey DeSmith is on this list just because it's a team that's favored in every matchup they play except versus Colorado. So neither of these games is against Colorado, so I would expect Dallas to be the favorite in both of those games, even though if they haven't been, flying on all cylinders. If it was me, I'd rather he plays St. Louis, but I guess we'll see how that goes. I'm comfortable starting him in either matchup.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's go to
number 1. Josh, I think he might be hurt.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I saw them call up
be.
a goalie because he didn't show up to practice or something. So that's why I had a little pause.
Darn. Okay.
But mention his name and then we'll see.
Yeah. At number 1, we have Jonas Johansson, or I think it's Halverson, who's the next guy up if he's injured. I could be making that up. But essentially the Tampa Bay backup, because they're going to play Chicago and Columbus on a back-to-back. Tampa's won. I think they were on an 11-game winning streak. They just lost in shootout or overtime yesterday, but they're just nuts. They're wagging right now, and I want any goalie playing for Tampa in the coming weeks, especially against Chicago and Columbus. Like, that's easy matchup. So yes, monitor if he's injured. That's my bad if that's the case. But then you just pick up whoever the backup is, because Tampa's that good that any warm body, you can get Jakey in there. He's going to save the 2 out of 10 McDavid shots, so he should easily get the win. So yeah, no, whoever the Tampa backup is, who's healthy, is going to be number 1 on this list.
If it's a Tampa backup, their name ends with Sun, it's a good pick.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue, Kevin.
I was gonna say, I didn't see any confirmation that he's hurt, but Tampa recalled a goalie from the minors, and it wasn't Vasilevsky. They said something was up with Johansson, so I'll just monitor the situation. Obviously, if you're picking you up for a spot start, you probably know Vasilevsky played the first half, and then he's going to get the second half. But yeah.
And I'm sure more information will come out you don't have to make the decision now, right? Back to back is next week, so you'll know when the time comes if he's healthy or not, or if you have to pick up the next guy up.
They recalled goaltender Brandon Halverson from the Syracuse.
Hey, I sniped that.
Yeah, you did actually.
See, his name ends with Sun too.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you said?
I got it, Jakey.
Yeah. That's it. The one thing I will say is that Tampa's been awesome lately, as you mentioned. That has also coincided with Braden Point being amazing again, and now Point's hurt. So maybe it's not going to be as I still think they'll win these 2 games. I still think that these are the best starters. Tampa's an awesome team regardless, but it is a little bit scarier than it was before the injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One One name that we didn't mention that I really want to talk about before we wrap up the pod is Connor Ingram. Because the
Yeah.
situation with Connor Ingram, I think the last time I spoke about it with JQ on the podcast was he needed to be either sent down prior to like 5 games so he can avoid going through waivers
Yeah.
when being sent down. And then they just kept him, and he just had a phenomenal game. And Jari has not been exceptional from coming back. And then the Edmonton Oilers official like Twitter was like, not only he's not the only Connor, like Connor McDavid's not the only Connor like going off or whatever. So they made a post about him. And then
Yeah.
eventually they're like, oh, we're sending him down, or like, wait, we're waiving him, right? Like that'd be
Yeah.
wouldn't be the first time
No,
a social media team does that, but
I saw something about them essentially saying we're doing a 3 goalie rotation for now.
okay.
So I don't think there's any interest in sending Ingram down. I don't know. 3 goalie rotations never last long term.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that shakes out.
I mean,
Most of the other ones this
out.
season, for sure. Most of the other ones this season were like, this is not going to last. And it didn't, but only because one of the 3 guys got injured.
Yeah.
So a lot of times with these 3 goalie rotations, they do it because they have so many injury prone guys. Like all their goalies are injury prone. So like, it's going to sort itself out. One of them is going to, snap. So like, we could see what happens there. But yeah, right now I'd rank it as Jari, Ingram, and then Pickard.
Ingram's 24% owned, so he's available in like 75% of your leagues. Do you think there's a chance that he could actually beat the guy? Like they traded for Jari, like they needed Jari to be the guy, but if Ingram's just playing better, I don't see a world where they're just like, well, we need to force Jari to keep winning games with him giving us like a 890 or something. You know what I mean?
I don't
I
know.
think so.
Do you know how stupid the GM looks if they do that trade and then Jari's their backup?
But they also made a move to get Ingram as like earlier in the season, right? Like that was a conscious move that they made to get him on the roster as a potential option.
I think they're a good enough team to outscore goalie issues, at least in the regular season. And I think they're just going to be pumping Jari up to try and get him going. Like, just how bad do you look as the GM to make that move and then he's your backup, Like, and it's not like Ingram's Ingram's been playing well, but it's not like he's like some star guy. Like, look at the contract that Jari has also. I love to follow that money. I just don't see it. I don't see. They weren't over there going to. They're going to though. But yeah. I just don't see it. But look, if Jari keeps being terrible and Ingram keeps being amazing, they're good. Like I think there's a big gap that's going to be necessary for Ingram to overtake him, but it's possible.
I think for me, like we always talk about, when we're picking up goalies, we also like to have in the back of our mind, like, is this a situation that could improve for the better for the guy that I'm picking up? And I think Ingram is one of those guys that I feel like he's getting at least a game this upcoming week. And I think there's always a chance that he could end up just like getting more starts and more starts and more starts if he keeps winning games. Especially if he has confidence and the team is like rallying around him. Like, I don't know if that's actually happening, but he's putting good performances on the ice. Like, he played Islanders, Chicago, LA, and Nashville. Like, these aren't the most difficult teams, but then Jari played Nashville during that stretch and got wrecked.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. With this list in general, like I just wanted guys who I was sure about.
No, for sure.
I usually go to the go to the back-to-backs because that's like guaranteed. I don't want to recommend a guy even though like I think Ingram's gonna have a better start, than Comrie, but like I don't want to recommend him and then he doesn't get the start. So that's the only thing.
I think it's worth having a conversation with him. Like his name is becoming popular a little bit.
Absolutely.
Like I think like it's like I think Decor is going to be the guy there, and I think it's easier for Grubauer to overtake Decor than it is for Ingram to overtake Jari. But I don't think it's
really.
Like, like DeSmith.
I disagree. I think the opposite.
You think it's easier for Ingram to overtake Jari?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, in that case, then I really don't think it's that far off because I really don't think it's impossible. I know you're saying, Josh, with that the GM will look stupid. Fair, but at the same time, like this team is just they need to win. 2 Stanley Cups back-to-back losses, like they just want to win. I don't think it really matters. And like Brett Kulak, and what was it, like a second? Like it's not nothing. I think it was kind of silly because Jari, like why, but whatever. At the end of the day, it's not like they gave up anything super significant though.
Yeah. Kevin, have you gone back into those TikTok comments and said I told you so to everyone?
I haven't. I should, because Skinner's been lit. And, listen, I can fight in those TikTok comments all day. I wish I was getting paid for it, but I'm not. But if you were one of the people and you're hate watching still, like you followed us because of that TikTok and now you're hate watching, just know I got your number.
That's crazy. I never thought of us having hate watchers.
All
right, let's wrap this up.
Thank you to everybody for
giveaway,
listening. What?
The giveaway. Last chance.
Oh.
It's the last chance to join the giveaway for the 2026 midseason Dauber guide. Guys, subscribe on YouTube, join the Discord, go in the giveaway channel in the Discord, comment Dauber, you're entered. The deadline is literally after you listen to this episode. It's this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, January 18th. So make sure you're in. We're giving away 15 guides. If you don't win, the guide is still on sale on their website, so you can go check it out. But it's an extremely good resource. And now, Jakey, you can go through the spiel.
Thank you to everybody for listening to our Week 16 waivers episode. If you enjoyed the show, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We're there. Give this video a like on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. All the socials are in the podcast description, as well as the Discord community. The link to the Discord is there. Be sure to join that. We reference it all the time on the podcast, all the channels that we got there. It's part of the Dauber giveaway, process. And additionally, it's just a great resource, great place to be. We do record. We're pretty up to date, but, we're pretty much on the ball there all the time. So it's a great place to be. All right, Ernie,
Yes.
not to scare you because of Harry Potter 3, but if you'd like to take it away without being too frightened, go ahead.
Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, banger management, fantasy hockey podcast. Woo!
Woo! Woo! Terrifying stuff.
Josh,
I know.
what was the scariest part of Harry Potter 3? Was it the Dementors?
I mean, yeah, the freaking Dementors, obviously. The Dementors, the werewolf, the
Sirius
worst part of
Black?
prison was the Dementors.
Dementor. All right.
Yeah, when he almost sucks his soul out. Come
Yeah.
on, it's crazy. Crazy
Same.
stuff.
All right.
The Grim. Anyways.
Oh, the Grim. Yo, that
Yeah.
guy delivered the performance of his life. And then I think we never saw
Yeah.
him again.
Yeah.
That was crazy. They should give that guy more screen time. That's crazy.
Yeah.